On Christmas night in 1945, an incident occurred in West Virginia, USA, that still sends chills down the spine when remembered. George Sodder, a man of Italian descent, was celebrating Christmas with his wife, Jenny Sodder, and their 10 lovely children. Every face was lit with happiness, but who could have known that this night would turn into a nightmare, an unsolved mystery that still haunts people today. It happened around 1 a.m. when a fire suddenly broke out in their house. George and Jenny rushed outside with their 4 children, but 5 children who were sleeping upstairs vanished without a trace. No remains, no bones, not even teeth were found. Did they really burn to death in the fire, or were they kidnapped? Was the fire truly an accident, or was it deliberately set? This is not just a story, but a mystery that continues to puzzle the world. Let's try to understand each aspect of this unsolved enigma. George Sodder was a hard-working Italian immigrant who opposed the Italian dictator Benito Mussolini. This opposition forced him to leave Italy and live in America. Openly speaking against Mussolini could have been dangerous, but George never showed fear. In America, he ran a trucking business and was fortunate enough to own his own house. His wife, Jenny, was a dedicated housewife who raised their children with love and discipline. On December 24, 1945, Christmas Day, the Sodder children were playing with their new toys. Later that night, 5 children went to their rooms upstairs to sleep. Around 1 a.m., Jenny smelled smoke in the house. When she checked, she found the kitchen on fire. George and Jenny rushed outside with their 4 children, but the 5 children upstairs were left inside. George tried every possible way to rescue them. When he ran toward the second-floor window, he noticed that the ladder was missing. He thought of using his coal truck to reach the window, but when he turned on the ignition, the truck wouldn't start. Another truck also failed to start. The people present at the scene tried to call the fire department, but there was no response. Eventually, when contact was made with the fire chief, the fire brigade arrived hours later. Everyone assumed that the fire had caused the 5 children to burn to death, but the case was much more complicated than it seemed. The next morning, when the investigation began, officials confirmed that the children had died in the fire. However, this didn't make sense because human bones can't turn to ash at temperatures below 800 degrees Celsius, especially bones with calcium, such as teeth. Even in a furnace, these wouldn't burn to ash. So how could 5 children's bones and teeth be completely missing? Forensic investigation confirmed that the fire didn't last long enough to reduce the bones to ash. This raised serious doubts, and the Sodder family rejected the official investigation report. The investigation team had suggested that the fire started due to a short circuit in the kitchen. But George Sodder insisted that he had recently had all the wiring replaced, and there was no chance of a fault. George also recalled some strange incidents during the fire. When he picked up the phone to call the fire department, the phone line was cut. This was later confirmed in the investigation. Someone had cut the phone line from the outside. A cut phone line looks smooth, unlike one that breaks naturally. Additionally, Jenny recalled receiving a strange phone call around 12:30 a.m., where a woman on the other end was laughing loudly. Jenny hung up, thinking it was a wrong number. If the phone line was cut at 1 a.m. and there was a strange call just half an hour earlier, it indicated that the line had been deliberately cut before the fire started. Before the fire, Jenny also heard a noise on the roof, as if something had fallen. Shortly after, she smelled smoke. The ladder where George usually kept it was found far away in a field, and both of his trucks, which had worked perfectly the day before, were suddenly non-functional during the fire. All these strange incidents convinced George Sodder that his children hadn't died in the fire, but were kidnapped. But how could anyone have taken the children in such chaos? Several theories were proposed. One was that months before the fire, an insurance agent had visited George and strongly insisted that he take out home insurance. When George refused, the agent threatened him, saying, "You'll understand when your house catches fire." Could someone have used the fire to distract people and kidnap the children? Another theory was that George's open opposition to Mussolini had angered the Italian mafia, which may have made them target him and take his children. Some people claim to have seen the children in different locations after the fire. One woman reported seeing them in a hotel with a strange couple, while another person said they saw one of the children being taken away. A year later, new evidence emerged. The investigation team, which had earlier concluded the fire was caused by a short circuit, was proven wrong. A bus driver who passed by the house said he saw people throwing something that looked like a fireball. Months later, when the snow melted, a rubber-like object was found near the house, which was identified as a pineapple bomb. Jenny recalled the noise she had heard just before the fire. It could have been the sound of that bomb falling. The Sodders spent their lives searching for answers to this mystery. They spared no effort, following every possible lead. They even put up a large billboard with pictures of the missing children and offered a reward. In 1960, Jenny received a letter with a picture of a man who looked strikingly similar to their son Louis. The letter simply read, "Louis Sodder, I love you. Brother Frankie." Was this letter really from one of the missing children, or was it a prank? The Sodders hired a private detective to investigate the letter, but no trace of Louis Sodder was ever found. As years passed, the mystery remained unsolved. George Sodder passed away in 1969, and Jenny, along with the surviving children, continued searching for answers about their missing siblings. After George's death, Jenny never left their home. She surrounded it with a fence and built new rooms. For the rest of her life, she wore black clothing, mourning the loss of her children. In 1989, Jenny passed away, and the family finally took down the old billboard that had been erected for the missing children. Did the children fall victim to a tragic accident, or were they part of a larger conspiracy? This remains a mystery that may never be solved. I hope you enjoyed this video and will like and share it. Thank you for your kind comments. See you in the next amazing video.